I always talk about this notorious relationship that I was in, and that's why I'm emotionally mature now, but I don't have a video specifically talking just about that, how it went. So this is that video. Here we are. We're back. This relationship started this time 2 years ago, September 19th, 2023, and it ended about late February, March of the next year, so 6 months, if that. The first few months were swell. Maybe I would get angry here, maybe I get angry there. I can't specifically tell you, but you'll notice the theme. This is why I was able to become emotionally mature, because every single time or big event that happened that I got upset, there was always a theme. The same thing would happen twice, and I'd recognize that. Okay, great. Why am I doing that? Boom. We fix it. We're great. We're all fine and dandy now, but I was not fine and dandy 2 years ago. The first story. I was at work, and I was doing the dishes. I was messing it up. And I was really angry. I think because I was closing, and God forbid I had to stay late. And one of my coworkers, I've been here for like a few months. I started in May or June, so this was only a few months. And at this point, I was introverted, so I didn't talk to anybody. I didn't know who this person was. I didn't know him too well. And at the end of the night, there might be some leftover chicken, some fried chicken. And sometimes we do throw it away. But this coworker, she was eating the chicken, and she was having a good old time eating the chicken, not working. And I was in the dish room closing, upset because I have to stay late. And I see this girl eating this chicken, talking to another coworker, and she's so happy. And I almost said something. That goes to a whole different point. I almost said something, but I didn't. And I'm getting angry. I'm like, why is she having a good old time and I can't? I have to do these dishes. And right now I'm ruminating. Boom, keyword. I'm ruminating. I'm thinking about this chicken. I'm thinking about I have to stay at work. I'm thinking about all these things. And it's growing. Like I've said before, the plant that grows as soon as you water it. I'm watering this plant, it instantly grows. That's rumination. So your boy is pretty upset. I call my ex at the time, and this is something else. Being anticipatory of being angry, knowing an event is gonna happen, and then using that event as my excuse to get angry. If you go to one of my first 2 or 3 videos, you'll see it's actually my first video where I specifically talk about that thing of anticipating being angry. So I call my ex, knowing that eventually she's gonna ask me, so how was work? So how was your day going? So I call her. Hey, how's your day going? Oh, it's good. How's your day going? Uh-oh. See that? That's the event. Uh-oh, what's gonna happen? I'm gonna get angry. I was doing dishes and I was so angry, and Rainbow was eating the chicken and I couldn't eat the chicken. I was so mad. Can you call me back when you're not yelling? Oh yeah, of course. I knew that when I called her, she was gonna ask me how I was. And I was very much not well, because I was ruminating and I was angry about my coworker eating the chicken while I had to do my job. And I was anticipating her asking me that, and that was gonna be my thing to get upset at. The best part of this, there was a recurring theme. Maybe she recovered from that the next day. Maybe she didn't. I have no idea. But there were so many times, we'll use that specific event. Say she wasn't. Say this was terrible. Say she wasn't. She was angry at this into the next day. I would then send oh, good morning. I hope you slept well. I hope you had good dreams. I did that so many times. That threw her off. because she's angry at me. She's upset at me because I yelled at her on the phone. And now then, not even 12 hours later, I'm sending these text messages like everything's fine. That's confusing. And that happened so many times. I have to tell this story. I can't not tell stories because I don't want to. There was a time, you'll notice the theme. Notice the theme. We were on FaceTime. And I don't know how the conversation came up, but we were talking about my ex, because that was my second relationship. My ex was the pivotal relationship that I've become emotionally intelligent from. The one that I'm talking about right now was my second one. Before that, I've only had one. We were talking about that previous one. I don't know how it came up, but we were talking about her, and I don't know how it came up, but she was gonna look her up, or like I said something, and she was probably gonna look her up, and I was anticipating her looking her up on Instagram. And then when she did start to look her up on Instagram, I remember I said, "Oh, of course you're gonna do that," or something like that, something passive aggressive. I don't know exactly what I said. This was 2 years ago, but something like that. And then she said, "Hey, can we call later?" Because I just made her upset. "Oh yeah, okay, that's great, that's fine." I was anticipating that she was gonna look her up, and she did, so I got angry. It justified the anger. There is a theme. This is 2 events so far that have happened with the same pattern. This was one of the last events that happened, because at this point it was February. At this point she was so done with me. She called me one time. For whatever reason, this wasn't the whole point of the call, but she called me and she's like, "I told every single one of my friends and everybody I know about this situation, about you always being angry at me, and they're like, oh, I would have broken up with him so long ago." And in my mind, I'm like, this is crazy. In my mind, I'm like, what am I doing wrong? She tells me, if you're gonna listen to any part of this video, listen to this part of the video. I didn't know what I was doing was wrong. I would get upset at her, these events would happen, and all I could recognize is, oh, okay, this exact specific chain of events happened. This thing that I said, this thing that I did, just don't do that again. That's not good. I can't do that again. Cutting off the branch, the branch is going to grow back. I didn't know that I could cut off my roots, let alone that I had roots. That's pivotal. There was this event, one of the last events that she got angry at me for, because at this point we broke up. At this point I turned 18, and for the longest time they wanted to teach me grill, because I have to be 18 to be grill. Lo and behold, it doesn't work because I'm too meticulous. I worry too much about plate presentation. I was breading each fried tender individually instead of just throwing them Johns in there and mixing it up. I was too meticulous. We can't be having that. And another coworker who, God bless her heart, likes to cause drama for the sake of causing drama. Those people are weird. Y'all gotta get checked out. And she told me that my ex told her that I'm slow on the grill. It's ruining her food. It's ruining her times, because she used to do to-goes, the DoorDash, whatever. And so she told her that, and it made me upset. Oh, my ex is telling me I'm slow on the grill. That's not nice. I was ruminating about it. I was getting upset about it. And when I'm thinking about this this was crazy. I remember this too. I remember, maybe it was because I was at work and I couldn't, but I remember I was gonna send her a voice message on text, and it was gonna be super, super mean. But then between then and the time I actually left work, I was a little bit less angry. And I thought to myself, oh, that really angry thing that I wanted to tell her 2 hours ago, I don't have to say it like that because I can just be nicer and say it like this. That was pivotal. That was a big lesson for me too. Turns out that message was too mean too. I remember I wasn't yelling, but it was to the extent of, oh, so Trinity told me that you do this, and quite frankly, I'm really effing sick of it. You should tell me something straight to my darn face. I was saying the mean things, I was being passive aggressive, but I wasn't yelling. But let me go back to that, because that was pivotal. Realizing that I wanted to say this really, really angry thing right when it happened, but then 2 hours later, I was a little bit more calm. And I could say it nicer. That was huge. I'm so grateful for this relationship, because without it, I wouldn't recognize these patterns. I wouldn't recognize that I'm repeating the same thing over and over again. This story I don't remember too well, but oh, God bless my heart, I didn't get my license until just a year ago, so she would drive me everywhere, and not necessarily road rage, but if somebody did something, she would yell at them in the car and cuss them out. I didn't like that. There was a time where she did that, and I don't know if I shut down or if I said something immediately, but I said something about it, and that was a problem too. The whole point is these repeat actions of me doing the same thing over and over again. Recognizing the pattern. Recognizing if I did the same thing twice. Recognizing when I said this angry thing here and I said it nicer here. All these things that I was able to change. Like I said, about February, March, we broke up. But we still work together. And I'm grateful that we did. I might have said this before, and I hate to put her in a negative light, but mentally she wasn't terrible, but she also wasn't entirely mentally with us. And I would feel like at times she would say something or do something just to make me upset or just to make me feel a certain way. I'm gonna skip a few months and I'm gonna talk about this, because this was single-handedly the craziest event out of all of them. My best friend also works here, because like I just said, I didn't drive. Me and my best friend, I worked with him because he was my ride, and we lived like a street apart. At this point, we've been broken up. This was about June or July, because this is, out of everything that's ever happened, there were a few times where I thought about writing in my journal, but this time I had to write in my journal. I had to get this on paper, because it was so bad. I don't know if it was the same day, but my ex comes up to me, and she says something to the extent of, Damien's mocking me, or Damien's flirting with me. And it doesn't take a genius to know that mocking somebody is more likely than not in every case, but most of the time, a way of being flirtatious, of flirting with somebody without actually doing it. And that irked me the wrong way. But it gets better. Obviously, since me and him drive in one car, we leave at the same time. My best friend's in front of me. This is a restaurant, so it's not open. There's a hallway here, and you can't see inside. You have to go right then left. Forgive me for my terrible articulation. It's called a vestibule. It's the part where the restaurant separates from the kitchen. If you're looking straight down it, you gotta go left, and then you gotta go right, then you're out. It's just like slight. Forgive me. Forgive me. My best friend's in front of me, and he's walking out. And my ex is coming the other way. She's walking in. I'm not going to say any names, but she sees my best friend, and she goes, "Bye, best friend." And then I'm right behind him. And I go, "Bye, my ex." And she goes, "Bye." Oh my Lord. I don't know if me just articulating that story was good enough for you, if the emotion really set in, but by the gods, I went into my best friend's, I don't know why he didn't come out at the same time with me. I went to my best friend's car. I'm like, "Bro, can you unlock the door?" I went into that car and I screamed at the top of my lungs. My lungs were sore the next day because I was so angry. I was so angry. Oh my goodness. Praise the Lord. I had the self-control to recognize I can't scream in the middle of the restaurant. I don't really want people to hear me scream. Let me go in bro's car. I know we're exes. I know it shouldn't matter what I do, saying bye to her. But the way this would work is she would only work the weekends. This is the best story I can tell you. This is the one I can articulate the best. Excuse me. I would be... Oh, praise my mind, bro. At this point, I had a maybe thought in my mind that we could still get back together. So, I would say it was Monday. And the whole Monday, I'm in my mind, I'm ruminating, I'm thinking about this, I'm thinking about why was I getting angry, why was it wrong, what can I do, what can I fix it, what podcast, what YouTube video, constantly in my mind for 5 days. And then Saturday pulls up, and she works here. And this is the best part, because like I said, she did to-goes, the door dashing part, and I was in Dish. So very rarely does she actually have to come to where I am. And better yet, sometimes she would come there and somebody else would be there. I'm not going to be, it wasn't necessarily personal, but I'm not going to be talking about our business in front of other people. So I would be there'd be a time where I'd be expecting, because say it's the same week. Say this is the week where I want to ask her, is there any, you think we'll still get together? Is there a chance we'll get back together? Say there was never an opportunity to talk because of our 2 different positions and she only works 2 days a week. Then I'd have to go a whole nother week thinking about this. More rumination, more thinking. Oh, next week I'll get my answer. And then she says, 2 weeks later, let's just say, "Oh, maybe." Boom! New piece of information. My ruminating is slightly less bad because now there's a chance. Now the ceiling, it drops a little bit because now all of this, blah, blah, blah. Next week, pulls up. All this rumination, all this thinking. Next week, she pulls up. And I say, let's come up with something. I say, can we still be friends? And she goes, "Oh, maybe." Boom! Ceiling drops a little bit. Ruminating becomes a little bit not as bad. That's how that would go for months. Terrible, terrible, terrible. But now it's shaped me into the person who I've become now, who I can teach these skills to because I've been through the trenches. I feel like I hate to put words in her mouth or put her in a negative light, but I can't sugarcoat this. She was attention seeking. She had this laugh that was so obnoxious and the whole establishment could hear it. It was so bad. And I would be upset. I'd be ruminating. I'd be thinking about all these angry things. What did I do wrong? Oh, we broken up. Oh, I'm breakup feeling, blah, blah, blah. And I'd hear from across the store the whatever it was. It would make me mad. I might sound crazy by just articulating this, but if you've ever been in this position, if somebody's watching this has been in this exact position, you already know. You already have that feeling in your chest. You already know what this is like. All these subtle things, all these, oh, your best friend's mocking me. All these little things, it tormented me for months. With time, my understanding my anger got better. I discovered audiobooks and YouTube videos to better articulate how I feel, what I'm doing was wrong. And on top of that, the breakup feeling, day by day, it slowly got better. And I hope that all these stories make sense, especially that last part about working with her still. I hope it makes sense, but maybe just me articulating it isn't making sense. But I promise you, I'm thinking about these 5-6 days, even 2 weeks at a time, where I'm ruminating at this level about all these things. And I have one sentence a week, if that, to get a little bit of, for lack of a better term, closure, to see where we're at, to see if she hates me not or still. But I'm so grateful for her. Because Lord knows where my anger would be, what would happen. Because the relationship was so important, because with these months of rumination, I could sense these patterns. Oh, I'm not throwing things when I get angry. I'm not hitting people. Why is my anger so bad? Oh, passive aggressive. When I say something in the way that feels good, that's the passive aggressive way. I have to fix that. Oh, the story of me being slow on the grill. If I just say what I want to say a little bit later, it won't be as bad. It won't be as hurtful. Oh, regulating? Oh, doing push-ups in the freezer? I can be furious 1 second, and then I go to the freezer and I crank out these push-ups, and I'm completely normal. Oh, regulating. Oh, deep breathing. Oh, when I say something that's passive-aggressive, it hurts other people? Why is that? Let me see if I say it to myself, is it hurtful? Oh, it is. Oh, empathy. Oh, without this relationship, I would not be making this video. I've covered most of the bullet points of this relationship. I hope they all articulate well. And if they don't, go in the comments and be like, bro, this was buns. This was buns. I don't know what you're talking about. But those are the bullet points. I hope it paints a good picture for you all. There's always going to be more stories I can tell. There's always going to be things I can leave out, things I can better articulate. But that's the cliff notes. That's the spark notes. All right. If there's any part of anger, anything that you're struggling with, comment down below or DM me on Instagram or TikTok. I don't have too many followers now, so I see everything. That's everything. I will be back for more videos soon. But yeah, I love y'all boys. Y'all take care.